Good morning, everybody. Welcome to St. Anthony's and St. Peter's group of institutions. In today's class, we will be discussing Never Never Nest. This comes under third unit, C reading, the non-detailed part. Let's see the story. So, Never Never Nest comes under the theme social relations. In the contemporary world, people are not maintaining healthy relations with the family members or with the loved ones or with their neighborhood. Rather than they are giving more importance to materialistic things like the things like a car, a building, some kind of lavish things. Importance to material but not to emotions and feelings. And in this one act play, it takes place in a single setting, like already we have seen Dear Departed. So in this we have characters like Jack, okay, and Jill, followed by Aunt Jane. Along with that you have a nurse in the story. Okay, let's go further. Now what is the theme of this play? The theme of this play is most of the newlywed couple, though their income is very less, though their earning is very less, they wanted to show off themselves. They wanted to show that they are very rich, okay, and they are very pretentious. Obstinately one word is given, so they are very pretentious. They pretend as if they are very rich. Though they have a low income, they try to show to other people that they are people who maintain a status, and thereby they go to purchase all the things on installments by paying them monthly bill, okay, purchasing two to three things and investing there by installments. And if they are not able to pay the installments, definitely it is going to mess up with their life. The debts are going to increase and you will not have a peace of mind when you purchase things on installments when your income is very low. Okay, you have to struggle a lot when you don't earn sufficient income to purchase the things, and it's very unsafe, or it's just like a problem when you purchase things on installments, because when you are not able to clear the installment, again you go for a bank loan and you have to pay the loan of the bank, the other side installments. So never spend the money extravagantly more than what is required. Spend money in such a way that they meet your basic requirements, and once when you save something, you can go for whatever things you want. If not, you will have a problem. So here the writer is just giving a satire on how people have become so much materialistic and not having a relation. Okay, let's see further. So these are the meanings that you come across the lesson. So when we go into the lesson, we will see each and every meaning. You just have a glance. Okay, right. So the story takes place in a lounge. Lounge is nothing but a hall in a home. When you have your independent home, you have a big hall. That hall will be called as a lounge. Okay. So scene 1, the lounge of Jack and Jill's villa. Villa is nothing but a house. Okay, at New Hampstead, it's a place there, and there is some essential furniture like a table and some writing material and chair, and the curtain opens, and when the curtain opens you can see Jack and Jill, immediately followed by Aunt Jane. Okay, right, in this lounge, Jill says, Aunt Jane, charming, such a cozy little and such a pretty furniture. Charming, your lounge or the hall is looking very attractive and cozy little furniture. Cozy means which is very comfortable. Your furniture is very comfortable, and I really like the ambience or the atmosphere of your villa and your hall. And Jack says modestly. Modestly is an adverb. The meaning is down to earth, giving more respect. Okay, he says, handy place to sit in and listen to the radiogram. This is a comfortable place for us. We can sit and listen to the radiogram. So this is the radiogram. So what is a radiogram? It has a radio and inbuilt recorder. Okay. In the olden days, it's the old antique radiogram which is used for listening at the same time recording the songs. Okay, it has inbuilt speaker also. Now, have you got a radiogram as well as a car and a piano? Aunt Jane has seen a radiogram first, and she has seen a car, and she has seen a piano. You can see the piano on the picture there. So, why? Of course, Aunt Jane, you simply must have a radio nowadays. Nowadays, to have a radiogram, a radio set is very common because when Jill is at her kitchen or something like that, when she is free, she happened to listen to the songs while she was preparing something or while she was cooking. Jack says, "Sit down, Aunt Jane. You must be tired, and we have shown you everything." They have shown everything. They have shown their house. They have shown their piano. They have shown the radiogram. They have shown the furniture. They have shown the car. And what else are there in the house? That was already everything was shown by Jack and Jill to Aunt Jane. And Aunt Jane is very happy that these couple, newly married couple, are living a very prosperous life or a happy life. Now, what do you think of the little nest, Aunt Jane? Jill asked a question, okay, to her aunt. Aunt, how do you feel about our little nest? How is our house? Aunt Jane, I think it's wonderful, my dear. The house is really good, really very, very absolutely marvelous. Okay, the furniture and the car and the piano and the refrigerator and the radio. What's that? What's it? So wonderful and really wonderful. I'm very happy. Okay, you've got all the things. You've got a car, you've got a refrigerator, you've got a radio, you've got a piano. And Jack says, and we owe it all to you. Whatever we are enjoying the pleasures today, the royal life, what we are having, it's only because of you. You are a part for our success, or you're a part for our prosperous living. And Aunt Jane, okay, yes, Jack, that's what's worrying me. You are saying that I am responsible for your comfortable life. But that particular point makes me worry. Aunt Jane, at the time of Jack and Jill's wedding, she has given only 200 pounds. 200 pounds is a very little amount. 1 pound is nearly hardly 95 to 96 rupees now. 200 pounds means you just calculate. So with this little amount of money, how do you expect that they are going to live in a very rich villa, a marvelous villa, and purchase a car, a refrigerator, a piano, and a radiogram? Now Aunt Jane is in a doubt. Have I given you 200 pounds, or by mistake did I give you 2000 pounds? But Aunt Jane has not given 2000 pounds. She has given only 200 pounds. Now Aunt Jane is feeling very happy. Thank God I have not given 2000 because I don't have much money. I have given only 200 pounds. That's all right. But I still don't altogether understand. This house is very lovely, but doesn't it cost a great deal of rent? The house is looking really attractive. The finishing, the look, okay, the construction and everything of the house is really looking good. But I think you are paying a huge sum of money as a rent. And Jack says, rent? Oh no, we don't pay rent. They are not paying the rent. That means that is not a rented house. Aunt Jane, but Jack, if you don't pay the rent, you will be kicked out into the streets. The owner is not going to spare you. Maybe he'll wait for a month or two, and when you don't pay the rent in time, you will be kicked out of your house. And remember, you have Jill and also a baby, so you should keep on paying the rent. And Jack says, no, Aunt Jane, you misunderstood me. We don't pay the rent because the house is ours. Now, Aunt Jane was completely alarmed, shocked. He says, he don't pay the rent. And he also says that the house belongs to them. With 200 pounds, how can you purchase a house? That's really difficult. So she was shocked to hear that the house belongs to Jack and Jill. Why no, Aunt Jane? What on earth made you think that? Relieved. But still I don't altogether understand. Okay, the house is very costly, but how do you say? How do you feel like that? Okay, they said that Aunt Jane says, I still could not understand how are you going to spend all the little amount of money. We don't pay rent, but Jack, if you don't pay rent, Aunt Jane says, you'll get turned. This is already done. Okay. So they realize, Jack says that we have realized that if we pay rent every month, that is going to be uneconomical. We are not going to have anything of ours. And we are just paying 10 pounds for the house. And they have purchased the house on installment by paying monthly 10 pounds. Clear? So that house is not a rented house. That house is a house which is purchased by paying 10 pounds. Okay. You own for 10 pounds and a few quarterly payments, of course. Why be Mr. Tenant when you can be Mr. Owner? I wanted to be a owner. I don't want to be a tenant. Someone should not look at me as a tenant. Someone should look at me as a owner of the house. So I have purchased this house by paying 10 pounds. Aunt Jane, there's something in that even so. You must be getting on very well to keep up a place like this. I think you are earning a huge sum of money to pay the installment of the house what you have purchased. And Jack says modestly, of course that was nothing really. Okay. Aunt Jill says, oh, it's Aunt Jane. Why only last year he had a 5-shilling rise, didn't you, Jack? This man was getting a little amount of money, okay, and he was getting only 5 shillings as a increment. 5 shillings is just like 5 rupees increment. With 5 rupees increment and less salary or the less income, how do you expect to buy such a big lovely building? Okay. She was completely shocked. And Jack says, no, this Christmas I'm going to get 10 more rupees as a increment. 5-10 rupees increment will not fetch you anything, and moreover, it will lead you into debts. When income is very less, you're not supposed to go for installment. And these couple who wanted to have a lavish life or a splendid life, they have done many things. So what they have done, what all the things they have purchased through installments, okay, all those things we shall see in the next class. Thank you very much for listening. Have a fantastic and fabulous day.